All right, we've got two projects this evening. This is, I don't know, we're replacing this drive shaft. That's gone. Got a new piece coming in that eliminates those CVs, so the CV eliminator drive shaft. That should be here tomorrow. Now we're going to pull this carrier bearing out and get rid of that. I got this OMT bearing kit on the Amazon website, and I've got it set up. So let's see if we can pull that bearing. It doesn't say that I can't use an impact on it, so we're just going to try it easy. She's coming. Look at that. I think I said it before on the channel. If I need a tool, I just buy it, because that was easy. Probably be harder to get the new one back on. And the bearing itself doesn't feel bad, but the rubber housing around it was chewed all the heck. The new one looks like that. The other one was all eaten up in here, and it was flopping around within the rubber overmold. So out with that crap. We'll clean that up, put some grease on it. And I'm not sure how I'm pressing that on yet. Probably get a pipe and bang it on. Cool. I like that tool though. That's pretty good. That was easy. Let's clean this thing up and see if we can get it together. It's not scored up, so that's good. I'm going to put a little grease around it. And on the inside of the bearing. I didn't say any direction on this, so we're just gonna put it in and it goes where it goes. Part of the reason I'm replacing this back CV shaft is that little piece broke off there, or was broken off already. I didn't break it. It was already broken off. It's already dirty and nasty. But it fell out of the back end when I was trying to heat and beat on that to get it off this shaft. So a whole new shaft was about $600 for everything. I'd already purchased the bearing, and I found an upgraded CV shaft for the what do they call it? CV delete shaft. So it gets rid of these points. It just looks like a regular drive shaft that goes into it. All right, so let's try to put this baby in here. And for that, I'm using a 2-inch piece of water line that I got out of my plumbing stash, and this end fits on there very nicely. So we're just gonna tap, tap, tap it on. She bottomed out. Looks good. Looks like it's on there. So tomorrow I should be able to put that new back shaft on here and get this drive shaft back in the truck. I actually need to get it off the lift. It is St. Patty's Day 2026, and I don't know what the weather's like where you are, but so it's Tuesday. Saturday it was 73 here in central Indiana. Today it's like 23. I think it got down to 17 last night. Weather is ridiculous. All right, we got another project that we're gonna get onto since we can't complete this one today, but that was easy. OMT bearing splitter tool kit, worth the weight in gold. So we've got some crusty drums. Those are not in pretty good shape. We're gonna resurface those. I got a machine shop here. So we're just gonna put them back where they are. I put a lug nut, stole a lug nut from the Caballero to hold that on there. And there's my machine shop with start off with an 80 grit flat disc wheel and see how that works. Probably should be breathing that in. All right, brake dust is bad, so I got me some PPE. Let's see if we can make it cleaner. And bam, just like that, brand new. Look at that. Your machine shop do that? All right. I'm actually not putting the new ones on yet, but just cleaning that up just to tickle. I will be putting these on soon, but I need to get this off the lift. So I'm just cleaning the drums up a little bit to put it all back together. The brakes worked. Nothing's leaking at the moment, but I do have all new front and rears. And I'll probably have to do lines as well. But that cleaned up a little bit, cleaned up some of the crust off of it. And a little bit of that outer ridge. I will not be driving it long in this situation. All right, back together. Let's show you this also. I did get up in here and spray some phosphoric acid. This is all what it looked like before, dry, crusty. Blew it off pretty good, brushed some of it off. But now, that's not too bad. At least shut it down for a little bit. We'll do some more of that too. And then I did have the issue with the rear end. The pinion was actually loose. So I did tighten that up. I probably didn't need to pull the whole thing apart, but I wanted to put new fluid in it anyway. So it's got new fluid in it, and I ended up breaking that bolt off. Had to drill and tap it, and I lost one of the other bolts. So I got two just cheap bolts in there. But yeah, you know, and we got the new rear lowering kit and shocks. So we're gonna start putting it back together, and hopefully tomorrow I can drive it off the lift, if not the following day. Depends on how long that takes for that shaft to get here and me to get it put back in. We are here the next day. Driveshaft arrived. Let's get this sucker installed. Before I do it, I'm gonna put a little dab of grease on all the splines on the front shaft. The new one came greased already, and it's got Zerks on it. Cool. Maintenance. Also came with a new dust cap, which is good because the other one was destroyed. You can't see it here because it's not a lot of space, but I've got a mark here. There are 2 splines that look like they are fused together, and those go into a specific slot that the driveshaft manufacturer had marked on the new shaft. So I made a paint mark here. This is my old mark I made when I took it off. Of course, I couldn't see the splines in, but now I see right here are the 2 splines. I'll line that up and drop the new one in. This is from A1 Driveshaft Company. Family owned. Nice piece. Balanced and everything. So we'll set that up here on my strap. And get my marks lined up. See if we can't work it on. Here, let's pull this out of the way so I can see better. Oh, nope, that can't go that way. This has to. All right. How's that gonna go? Okay. Fight it in there. Now we got to put this gasket on. And there. And that will thread all into the end of the drive shaft here, just to keep the grease from flowing out and all that good stuff. All right, now let's see if it's not easy here to get this lined up. Look at that, there we go. Screw that dust cap on. Everything will come together. Okay, I got it started. Now let's see if this thing fits back here in the back. Oh yeah. I'm gonna put just a thin film of grease around there where those 2 surfaces connect. Let's bring you in there. All right, well, that's the front. Here we go. So here's that dust cap, and there is a flat washer that's cut through that I spread. Came over the splines, rubber washer. This threads onto here after it's pushed in. And then back here, I'm going to put just a little thin layer of grease on that just to protect that, and then we'll bolt it in. I got the wheels on the ground now, and the truck in frickin' park. And it's up on the lift. All right, let's get this thing up in the air again. That's spitting grease again. Oil. What the hell? Or is that just some leftover stuff? Who knows? All right, well, anyway, she's up in the air. Now we can turn this where we need it. it to line up right there. Here we go, we got one started. Can we get two? Two. Three and four. These are 5/8 bolts. Pretty sure, because that's a socket. Yep, or a spark plug wrench socket. No idea what torque spec is on this. We're gonna send it. Okay, now we can drop it back down. That bridge jack was an awesome purchase. I'm glad I did that for sure. After I test drive this, I'll come back and check everything again later. Now we'll tighten up this dust cap. Okay, like me, appears to be good enough. All right, now the only thing left is tighten these up. Let's look at this pinion angle, and I will see later if I can't show you the difference between what it was. Come on, camera, get off there. And what it is now. Oh yeah, look at that. That thing sits so much flatter. That drive shaft is so much nicer. This is gonna be good. Okay, well that's a wrap for today. I'm gonna drop it down, clean up a little bit, back it off the lift, and maybe take it for a test spin. I'm on the maiden voyage in the S10. Going to get some gas. See how it goes. Love you, see you soon. Well, that's a wrap on this stage of the build. We're one step closer to getting this thing back on the road. And I'm officially out of zip ties. If you enjoyed the gears and grease today, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button down below to help the garage grow. And if you want to see the rest of the build, click down here for the others. Cheers.